What is up, guys? Welcome to part 3 of my Super Nintendo collection video. Over the last couple weeks, we've been talking about my loose games, and then last episode we did our box game 0 to $50. This episode we're going from $50 to $150. Let's check them out. Time Slip. This is a run-and-gun shooter where you control Dr. Gilgamesh and destroy alien invaders from various time periods in Earth's history. An okay run-and-gun with serviceable music and sound. Paladin's Quest. A 1993 RPG where you control the spellcaster Chesney and a variety of characters that join your party throughout the adventure. A rich storyline and interesting characters make for a good RPG experience. Virtual Bart, a 1994 action game starring Bart Simpson where you compete in 6 challenges to save Bart from a virtual reality experiment. A good variety of stages, but punishing gameplay. Final Fantasy Mystic Quest, an introductory RPG targeted to American audiences. All the playability, control, and sound of Final Fantasy game, but some players might find it a bit too easy. Animaniacs, a 1994 platformer where you control Wacko, Yakko, and Dot in obtaining 24 lost movie scripts. Avoid hazards can be challenging, but all in all, it is rewarding. Addams Family. The Addams Family has been captured and Gomez must rescue his family in this 1992 platformer loosely based off the movie. A fairly average platformer. Star Trek The Next Generation Futures Past. Embark on away missions, command from the bridge, and engage in dogfights with enemy ships with the crew of the USS Enterprise D. Trekkies will be overjoyed to play this title. Super Godzilla, a game where you control Godzilla as he seeks out and battles alien invaders. Gameplay is lacking, however fans may get some enjoyment out of this fighting strategy game. Mortal Kombat 3, the last installment of the 16-bit era of the Brutal Fighter, adds the features of Mercy to give your opponent a sliver of your life bar, and animalities which allow your character to transform into a terrifying creature. One awesome fighter. Chester Cheetah, Too Cool to Fool, a 1992 platformer where you control Chester to scour 5 stages of the Four Corners Zoo to piece parts of his motorcycle back together. It's a decent platformer. Earth Defense Force, a 1992 bullet hell shooter, has a plethora of weapon options and upgrades, but beware, this shmup never lets up on difficulty. Eek the Cat. Eek is the star of the show and he must navigate an incapacitated individual through stages of this puzzle platformer. Slippery controls and not much of a reward make you might want to avoid this title. Romance of the Three Kingdoms 4, Wall of Fire, the final installment of the Koei strategy simulation series. Taking place in the 2nd and 3rd century China, take control of a ruler, build up your armies, and develop resources, and much, much more. Cool World. Jack Deeps gets sucked into one of his own comic book creations in this 1993 action-adventure title based on the film. Jack's stiff controls and collision textures are terrible. Ugly visuals make you want to avoid this game. Michael Jordan, Chaos in the Windy City. Take control of Air Jordan himself as he platforms his way through various levels to save his teammates from the evil Dr. Max Cranium. He can run, jump, and shoot basketballs to defeat enemies. Nicely presented levels, but they can be labyrinthine. SeaQuest DSV, based off the 90s television series, accomplish missions using various craft and an adorable dolphin Darwin and defeat the enemy. Pretty decent simulation shooter. The Untouchables. You control Elliot Noss, whose assignment is to take down Al Capone in this run-and-gun shooter. Awkward to control in some shooting sequences, but a decent play experience overall. Arcana, 1992 RPG where you control the youthful spellcaster hero Rooks. It has memorable characters, compelling story, and satisfying strategic combat, which is great for a great RPG. Jurassic Park Part 2, The Chaos Continues, a 1994 run-and-gun where you control Alan Grant as he returns to the island to gain control and stop the rival group Biosyn. has great control and presentation, but it's hard as nails. Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Take control of the T-800 Terminator as he tries to prevent the rise of the machines in this 1993 action platformer. It's a decent tie-in to the movie, but terrible controls and the difficulty make for not the best play experience. Super Adventure Island. Take control of Master Higgins once again to rescue his lady from the evil Dark Cloak. 5 areas with 3 stages each and a boss at the end. A smooth, well-designed game worth a play. Ignition Factor. Tackle fires in different stages while saving civilians in this 1995 top-down strategy game. Pretty unique, beautiful game with some somewhat awkward controls. Worth checking out though. Street Fighter 2. 8 international martial artists battle each other in this classic 1992 fighter. Engaging characters, fantastic graphics, sound, music, and gameplay. Revolutionary 2D fighter. Darius Twin. Pilot the Silverhawk spacecraft to battle fish-like enemies in this 1991 shooter. Great introductory shmup, but may not provide as much of a challenge for seasoned vets. Exertainment Mountain Bike Rally, a game designed for the Exertainment System Lifecycle stationary bike. Gameplay is similar to Road Rash, but nowhere near as good, where you hit opponents and pedal to victory. Music is not that great, and pretty poor graphics ruin the experience. Mortal Kombat 2, the 1994 sequel to the gory fighter with crazy fatalities. In addition to added fatalities, there are babalities and friendships added to this one. New characters like Katana, Baraka, and Reptile join the original combatants to fight the likes of Shao Kahn. Super Bomberman 2. Bomberman is abducted by the 5 bad bombers and must escape their spaceship in this 1994 sequel. Blast your enemies through 35 top-down stages. Your typical Bomberman fun. Uncharted Waters, a 1993 Koei simulation strategy game taking place during the Age of Exploration. Sail the seas and navigate different parts around Europe. Complex strategy, but slow pacing bring it down. And Ninja, Way of the Ninja, 1993 turn-based RPG set in feudal Japan. Great gameplay, but simple visuals. Aside from that, a pretty great RPG experience. Mickey Mania, a 1994 platformer that puts you in the shoes of Mickey Mouse as he navigates obstacles and enemies through 6 Disney-themed levels. Not a perfect game, but definitely worth a try. Illusion of Gaia, a 1994 action RPG where you control the flute-wielding protagonist Will. Will can learn new attacks, save, and heal through Gaia. Additionally, he's able to transform himself into 2 other versions for their own uses. It's an ambitious storyline, but it ultimately falls short of a truly great RPG. Still not a bad game though. Super R-Type. You are the pilot of an R9 fighter and must save mankind from the evil Baido Empire in this 1991 side-scrolling shooter. Utilize a variety of different weapons, including the hovering force module that allows you to fire in a variety of different ways at enemies. Suffers from slowdown and brutally hard, but a great shmup nonetheless. Definitely worth checking out. UN Squadron. Grab a fighter jet and save the Aslan Kingdom from the Project 4 mercenaries in this side-scrolling shooter. Purchase upgrades for your ship to take down enemies faster. Easily one of the best shmups on the Super Nintendo. Super Ghouls and Ghosts. Noble Knight Arthur must save Guinevere from the Emperor of Evil in this 1991 action platformer, a strong sequel to its NES counterpart. It's still hard, but it's definitely more fair. Gradius 3, a 1991 horizontally scrolling shooter put out by Konami. Pilot the Vic Viper ship through waves of enemies and obstacles. It suffers from slowdown and it's hard at points, but the gameplay and music will keep you coming back for more. Rocko's Modern Life. Take control of Rocko in this 1994 action platform puzzle game. Tedious platforming to protect your devoted companion Spunky makes this title one to avoid. Gemfire. A turn-based strategy game where the player positions units on the battlefield and issues command to achieve victory. Very daunting, but engrossing experience if you can get into it. Star Fox, the 1993 rail shooter where you pilot the R-Wing of Fox McCloud with the aid of his wingmates Slippy, Peppy, and Falco. This is a must-have for any SNES player. Weapon Lord, a 1995 fighter with 6 fighters to choose from. A weapon-based gameplay is layered but difficult to master. Animations are choppy, but the gameplay is serviceable. Hit the Ice, a comedically violent hockey game where each team of 2 players and a goalie compete for ice supremacy. Nice presentation and fun goofy graphics, but gameplay could be a little bit better. Donkey Kong Country 2, Diddy's Conquest. 1995 follow-up to the original Donkey Kong Country where you control Diddy and Dixie Kong to save the captured Donkey Kong. Great music, gameplay, and is pretty much the apex of platforming on the system. Ys 3, Wanderers from Ys, 1992 action RPG where you control the noble swordsman Adol. This side-scrolling RPG adventure has stirring music, decent pacing, and an admirable protagonist, a recipe for a good RPG. Venom Spider-Man, Separation Anxiety, the 1995 beat-em-up sequel to Maximum Carnage where Venom and Spider-Man team up to take out the Life Foundation and the offspring symbiotes of Venom. Battles with normal enemies can drag out and is somewhat a disappointing sequel. X-Men Mutant Apocalypse, the 1994 beat-em-up where you battle as Beast, Cyclops, Gambit, Psylocke, and Wolverine, and investigate the mystery of mutants disappearing. Tight controls, great sound, and graphics that X-Men and beat-em-up fans will enjoy. Killer Instinct, a 1995 fighter that pits 10 combatants in a tournament to the death. Chaining combos together is fluid and gameplay is top-notch. Aggressive 90s tunes add to the game's dark atmosphere. Another fighter in the SNES that is a must-play. Sonic Blastman, a 1993 beat-em-up where the hero battles against aliens, robots, and thugs to save Earth. With iffy hit detection, moments of slowdown, and less than stellar soundtrack, there are better brawlers on the system. The Seventh Saga. Take control of one of 3 adventurers who will do battle with other groups as well as join forces in this fairly difficult RPG. A variety of quests and an assortment of characters will add to the replayability of this RPG. Super Mario All-Stars, released in 1993. This is a compilation of the original 3 NES games with updated graphics, plus that never made its way from Japan. Perfect for experiencing the original Mario games all over again. Super Mario Kart, the Mario Kart that started it all. This classic racing game pits 8 lovable Nintendo characters and pits them together in a battle royale racing game. A true classic racing game, fun for everyone of all ages. Battletoads Double Dragon. The two fighting teams joined forces in this 1993 beat-em-up. Inventive levels, great characters to choose from, and a rocking soundtrack make this one a game to try out. Mario Paint. Unleash your creative side in this 1992 game starring Mario. You can draw, compose music, and animate to your heart's content. A unique and fun entry only found on SNES. Battletoads and Battlemaniacs. Pimple and Rash must save their brother Zitz from the evil Silas Volkmeyer in this 1993 beat-em-up. Great cartoon animations, fun gameplay, and a rocking soundtrack help you to have a great time with this game, even though it's difficult. Blackthorn, a 1994 action-adventure title where you control Blackthorn on his mission to save the Tool Kingdom. You must time your shots against enemies wisely by ducking behind cover. Punishing difficulty, but a good game nonetheless. Donkey Kong Country. Released in 1994, Donkey Kong goes on his first adventure on the SNES with Diddy Kong in tow. Revolutionary pre-rendered 3D graphics and a thumping soundtrack with addictive gameplay make for one of the best platformers on the system. Donkey Kong Country 3 Dixie Kong's Double Trouble, the third and final installment on the Donkey Kong series on the SNES. Platform your way through multiple stages with Dixie Kong and Kiddy Kong. More DK platforming goodness, even though extra elements make this one not shine as bright as the first two entries. Thunder Spirits. This side-scrolling shooter has you piloting a futuristic spaceship to defeat the Orin Empire. Use orbitals called claws to dish out more damage on the enemies. Even with some slowdown, this is pure shmup greatness you'd expect from Technosoft. Super Mario World 2 Yoshi's Island. A group of dedicated Yoshis must get baby Mario back to his parents. This platformer is one of the best on the platform with beautiful, almost hand-drawn graphics, fun gameplay, and tons of areas to explore. Plock. Plock's flags have been stolen, and it's up to him to rid the land of fleas and take them back. A quirky, solid platformer with excellent controls and a creative setting. Definitely worth playing. Sink or Swim, a 1996 action puzzle game, puts you in the shoes of Kevin, who must save the passenger crews of a sinking ship. It's your job to help clear a safe path for these mindless NPCs to reach the exit. Fun and challenging puzzle game. Super Bomberman Party Pack. Bomberman makes his 16-bit debut in 1993 and continues to blow up all that oppose him. With top-down play types, normal game, and battle mode, this is one dynamite battle. Super Turrican. Armor up in the Turrican suit and dish out punishment in this 1993 running gun. Unleash numerous attacks on enemies like spread gun, lasers, and ricocheted rounds. This is one adventure you shouldn't miss. Super Punch-Out. The 16-bit return of the classic Punch-Out formula. Look for tells in your opponent to either go for a jab, block, or dodge. Classic boxing game at its finest. Cybernator, a 1993 scrolling shooter platformer where you control a giant mech suit battling the evil Axis power to reclaim the Earth. Use the mech's fists, Vulcan cannon, missiles, and lasers to decimate your enemies. An awesome SNES experience with some beautiful explosions. Magic Sword. A dark lord controls the powerful black orb, and a barbarian known as the Brave One must battle through 30 tower floors to retrieve it in this 1992 action platformer. Quality graphics, sound, and music. I think this was a pretty good one to play. Final Fight. Classic 1991 beat-em-up with hard-hitting Hagar and more agile Cody, saving their daughter and Cody's girlfriend Jessica. Nice graphics and satisfying sound effects. Wolverine Adamantium Rage. 1994 action platformer where you control Wolverine as he tries to uncover his past. Good graphics, but the music often clashes with the theme. Not the best controls, but a serviceable adventure in the X-Men universe. Supernova, the 1993 follow-up shooter to Darius, where you return to destroying fish-like spacecraft to save the world. Good replayability due to different possible endings and staple shmup gameplay. Batman Returns, a single-player brawler based off the 1992 film. Battle as the Caped Crusader against the Red Triangle Circus Clown gangs. One of the better beat-em-ups on the Super Nintendo. Biometal. Take control of Kid Ray and Anita as they lead the Wasp fleet against the Biometals in this 1993 side-scrolling shooter. Immersive atmosphere and scrolling levels with a somewhat odd dance beat. Still a very engaging shmup. Secret of Evermore, a 1995 action RPG where a boy and his dog are transported by a strange device to the land of Evermore. Your pooch companion is able to transform for various settings. Fun characters and impressive story for this timeless RPG. ActRaiser. Rebuild civilization as the Master in your Sky Palace and combat the forces of the demon Tanzra. Side-scrolling action mixed with city-building simulation. One of the most innovative and enjoyable experiences on the Super Nintendo. Mega Man X, the quintessential Mega Man game on Super Nintendo. Battle as the Blue Bomber to navigate levels and destroy enemies. Take the boss's powers at each level and augment Mega Man's abilities. Can't go wrong with all the classic Mega Man formula. Thank you guys so much for watching part 3 of the Super Nintendo collection video. We have one more part, and that is going to be the big boys. We're talking $150 plus. Hopefully that'll be out in the next couple weeks. My computer's been kind of slow lately. I think it's on its last legs. But anyway, hopefully that'll be out in the next couple weeks here. And yeah, look forward to that. Anyway, let me know what you guys think of this video. Please like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you later.